here's the rule of thumb of keeping your butt and your hips. When you get your faja, listen to me and listen to me closely. You are going to measure your hip area. Your hip area is going to be the widest part of where your booty are. So you want to get super wide and you're going to measure this area. This is the area where your faja is going to come from. That's where your sizing is going to come from. You don't want to measure your waist and measure your hip and then get your sizing that way. You don't want to add its widest part measurement. You're going to stay in that size. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how many YouTube videos y'all watch. You're going to stay in that sizes, because when you're buying, you're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. When you're buying more fajas and you're like, oh, I got smaller, let me get a smaller size now. You got to keep in mind, these fajas, the butt part and the hip part is going to be smaller when you get a smaller size. I came out of surgery in a 4X faja. Well, I came out of surgery in a 5X stage 1 compression faja. That's fine. Now, when I changed into my stage 2 faja, I went down to a 4X. So you should be going like one size down when you change into your stage 2 faja. It shouldn't be no like you went from a 5X to a 3X. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Or it should be the same, depending on your hip measurement. But because you're going to be so swollen, my rule of thumb is one size down. Now, all of these fajas are 4X fajas. Best believe. So when you get smaller, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get your faja altered. And I'm also going to show y'all the foams and the boards. Now, I don't wear my foams in my, I'm like, it looks like I was scratching my booty, but I'm not. I was scratching my lower thigh. Now, I don't wear my foams in my boards. But when your faja starts to get a bit too big and you're in the middle of getting your fajas altered, because I know they might take a while to alter, your rule of thumb is you want to be compressed at all times. So one thing that I did find super helpful was this right here. Y'all need to go ahead and order this. This is a 360 foam. You don't have to be worrying about stuffing this foam, making sure this foam is straight, making sure this foam is straight. If you can, get you one of these as soon as possible, because it will literally make life easier. If I had this 1 week out of surgery, like I would have been so, like, life would have been so much easier for me. So I'm going to put my faja on 2 ways. I'm going to show y'all. First way of putting your faja, I'm going to show y'all, this is going to be like a week out of surgery, 1 to 2 weeks out of surgery. And what you're going to do is you're going to get some maxi pads and you're going to pretend this is a maxi pad. You're going to get the overnight pads from Walmart and you're going to put those on your incisions. So I only had one incision down here. You're going to take the maxi pad, you're going to put it right here. Because 9 times out of 10, you might be leaking some drainage and you don't want it to get all over your foams. You don't want it to get all in your faja. You don't even want it like dripping down your legs. So you're going to put the maxi pad. First you're gonna get in this faja. The reason why I say I like the ones that don't have zippers, because like as you can see, this is like shorts. So you gotta step in the faja. Okay, so 1 to 2 weeks post-op, you're not gonna be able to do this by yourself. You're gonna ask your advocate that I told you to bring down for surgery, and you're gonna ask your advocate that I told you to bring down for surgery, and they're gonna do a 1, 2, 3 pull and get that over your butt. And it's not gonna feel good. I'm letting y'all know it's not gonna feel good. So right now I have the faja up, right? So as you can see, I have my faja on. They're gonna do a 1, 2, 3 pull. The faja is on. You're gonna take your foams. First, you're gonna put that poise pad right here. So we're gonna put the fake poise pad right here. And we're gonna put, you could do 1 or 2, and you're gonna cover your incisions. After that, you're gonna take your foam. You're gonna put your foams like this. This is my favorite way to put it. A lot of people, they do actually put their foams, I started putting them horizontal, but it wasn't like getting my hips. So I want to tell y'all to put your foams vertical. Put your foams vertical. If you have hip dips, put your foams vertical. Because if you're putting it horizontal, baby, it's easier and it won't pop up front, but it's not going to compress where it needs to compress. So I was putting my foams vertical, and somebody's going to help you do this. And you're going to stuff this You're going to try to do it as low as possible. You're also going to take your back triangle, your person that's helping you. So when me and my mom did this, I would do the front, she would do the back, and she would do the sides. I would do one side, she would do this side. This is going to be your back triangle. Now this back triangle, we're going to go into detail. This might be a long video because it's so much. This back triangle has two sides. As you can see, it has a flat side. It has a raised side. The raised side is for when you have a lot more fluid and you need a lot more compression. The flat side is if you don't have a lot of fluid on your back. I was able to change to the flat side within like 3 days of being post-op because I didn't have a lot of fluid on my back. Like I had like no fluid on my back. Like they was like, sis, you ain't got no fluid. So originally you're gonna put this padded side. It's gonna go where your tailbone is. Right here. This is where it's gonna go. You're gonna take your other foam, like I said, you're gonna do vertical. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just needs to be touching you. Like it needs to be compressing. So once you put your foams in, that's when you're gonna put your sleeves up. Now, if your faja gets a little bit too loose and you're getting other fajas altered and this is the only faja you have, you are to purchase purchase more foams, and you can double up on foams. Like that's what I had to do. When my fajas were getting altered and this was getting big, I was doubling up on foams, and that's perfectly okay. After you take your foams and you put them in, you're gonna take this board. A lot of girlies, they might have backboards. I never had a backboard because I didn't really have fluid on my back. So I ain't got no backboard to show y'all. But sometimes people do have backboards and it's almost like this. It's just made for your back. And they put that on over the foam as well. But the most important thing is this abdomen board. Okay? So when you change into your stage 2 faja, these are the things that you're doing your foam and you're doing your boards. When you first start wearing this board, listen to me and listen to me carefully. This board is going to hurt like heck. You are not to sleep in this board. I don't care what nobody say. Don't sleep in this mess. Don't sleep in this mess. Don't sleep in this mess. Take this out before you go to sleep. Wear this at least for 12 hours until you're able to sleep in this board. Like I said, I changed very quickly to my stage 2 and I wore this board the next day. Baby, my stomach was on fire. So what you're going to do is you're going to stuff this board down. I don't care how small this board is. The most important compression part is your fupa area. Nobody wants a fupa, sis. Nobody wants a fupa. So what you're going to do is you're going to stuff this board to your fupa. You're going to make sure that fupa is being compressed. So I don't care if it's not, up here, you still got the compression garment. You're going to take this. You're going to stuff it right here. It's going to be touching your fupa. You see, I might have a little space up here. That's okay. You got a compression garment. Then, with your help, with your advocate's help, your mom, whoever you hired, your nurse, whatever, your friend, they're going to start buttoning this up. They're going to button this up. First week, I could not button this up myself. So they're going to start buttoning up the faja. And I'm just doing it real fast now because this faja is like loose. And I do want to say, right before you put on this faja, you are going to want to turn on the fan. Like I said before, you're going to take a break, turn on the fan, get mentally ready. And if anytime you start feeling too dizzy, take a break because you don't want to pass out while somebody's trying to put on your faja. I'm very dizzy when somebody is hooking up your faja. What you're going to do, I don't have it in my room right now, but you're going to, I have it in my Amazon shop. You're going to take an alcohol pad. You're going to rip the alcohol pad, or you're going to take a bottle of alcohol. You're going to do this right here with the alcohol. You're going to sniff alcohol, 90% alcohol. Or you're going to take the alcohol pad, you're going to sniff the alcohol. You're going to look up and you're going to sniff the alcohol. You're going to do that while they're putting your faja so you won't pass out. My faja is on. And like I said, it's okay if this is sticking out. It's okay. It's okay. Just not all the way out. So this is what the faja looks like. You should look like a little stuffed turkey. Now, once you are after 2 weeks post-op, and if you're lucky enough to get one of these before, this will save time because literally, instead of stuffing each individual foam in, and this already has a backboard too, you're going to put your triangle and you're just going to go like this. With the faja on though. Within the faja, not on top of the faja. I'm just showing y'all because I don't want to take it back off. You're going to go just like this. It's not going to Velcro because I got all this stuff over me. But, and then you're going to, actually, you're going to Velcro it. And this is the 360 foam. You don't have to worry about doing each individual faja. You're getting 360 compression. Like, that's why I like this one so much. This also came from Pretty Girl Curves, so I'll have the link down below for that. And then you're gonna button up your faja, or you're gonna have someone button up your faja. This is like a really good investment. Like, please get you one of these. I promise you, sis. I promise you. Now, when we're going to talk about faja alterations, I talked about earlier in the video that you're going to stay with your same size. Day after surgery, I was in a 4X. All those fajas I showed y'all are 4X. So, I got this is another, this is the faja that they gave me from the horrible business they are in. Now, this is the first faja that I got altered. This is a mid-thigh faja. And I got this faja altered by the Faja doctor. I will link her down below as well. You can visit her Instagram. She's very helpful. She has good customer service. She's here in Atlanta. I love the lady. She doesn't know me, but I love her. And I was able to pick an accent thread, which is super cute. I picked ombre pink. She has threads that you can pick just to put a little razzle dazzle on your faja. It's not needed. You don't have to, but I just wanted a little pop of color. I wanted a little pizzazz. So what I did was, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna have more than one faja, okay? If I ever find out that any of y'all have one faja and you're getting that one faja to get shipped, to get altered, like, we're gonna fight. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill out the form of the alterations. You're going to measure your waist and your hips. And so I just measured it. Of course, you're going to do this naked. So you're going to do this naked to get an accurate measurement. At the time, I was a 32. So that's when I first got this faja. I was a 32 and my hips were a 50. So what I did was I filled out the form. I put a screenshot of her form. I told her my waist was a 32. My hips were a 50. What she does is she can pick the type of alterations that she wanted, and she usually alters 1 inch smaller than what you are. So she altered the first hook to a 31, then a 30, and then the like closest hook right here is at a 29. I was able to get within the last hook within like a couple of days from my swelling. Once you're after 6 weeks post-op, your swelling, there still might be some swelling and you still will go down because it takes, like I said, 12 weeks for your skin to attach to your abdominal muscles again after liposuction. So you're still very much moldable. So you want to like mold yourself, sis. You want to mold yourself. You want to give Coca-Cola body. Like, that's what you want to give. So yeah, it's a snatch. She also asked for your hip measurements just because in the event that you have a faja with a zipper, it was very hard for me to at first get into this faja just because, like I said, getting into this is like a pair of shorts. So you can see this faja waist is snatched. She did such a good job. Like, I'm gonna have to send this back to her again to get it altered again. So my second faja that I got altered. So now we're going to talk about over aggressive alterations and faja extenders. I know, stay with me, y'all. Like, I be dropping gems in all these videos. I know they be a little long, but I don't want to keep doing a whole bunch of videos. This is the faja video. So now, over aggressive faja, I would recommend doing your faja over aggressive. I didn't realize how fast I would get down to the third hook when she altered my faja. So I put on the note, instead of doing 1 inch smaller than my waist, girl, can you do 2 inches smaller than my waist? At this point, I was already like 5 weeks post-op and I was like, girl, like, it is what it is. So once I got this faja, I have the zipper. It's easier to get into this faja. It has this lower fupa, what's it called? So this is my faja that I wear now. I'm probably going to take everything off and show y'all. After about 4 weeks, I stopped wearing my foam and my boards. You don't have to wear your foam and your boards after 4 weeks. If your skin can take it. I did give myself a little faja burn because I thought I was gonna be Superwoman and I didn't want to use the extender. Like, so don't do that. Don't do that. So when she altered my faja, right now I'm on the extender. At first I was all the way at the first one. Now I'm at the last hook for the extender, and as I am able to actually get on the garment, I will take the extender away and I will just do the garment, of course. This one, of course, I picked another color. I picked eggplant for her to alter, and Yeah, so these fajas, I want to say when I ordered this, was this like 196 from Pretty Girl Curves. To get it altered cost me 128 because I tipped her, of course. So each alteration is like 128. The faja itself is like 150 to 200, 196. $100 to $200 it's gonna run you a faja. To get it altered is like $100. So just know that this is an investment. It is literally like a money pit, and I will tell you, stick to your budget. Please stick to your budget. So that is everything with the fajas. As far as there's stage 3 fajas, I would not recommend getting into a stage 3 faja, just getting your stage 2 fajas altered. I'm not buying a stage 3 faja, one, because they're not comfortable, two, because some of them are made out of like latex and that like hard material. The girls be like, oh, I got the little turbino or whatever faja. Like, girl, no. Just get your stage 2 fajas altered and you will save money on having to buy a stage 3 faja. And that stage 3 faja, if you're like in the summer healing like I am, well, it's like March, I'm not walking around in no latex like faja with no rods. Like I'm just not doing it, especially if you have to wear fajas under your clothing. Just keep getting your stage 2 fajas altered and it will literally be snatched like a stage 3. I'm about to show y'all what I look like in my faja without my foaming boards. But honestly and truly, you should be wearing your faja so much that it's not comfortable without your faja. And it's okay. When people are like, oh, you need to wean yourself off your faja. If you're before 3 months, you don't need to be weaning yourself off the faja. If you're after 3 months and you still wearing this thing 24/7, I'm like, okay, sis, like, wean yourself off the faja a little. But if you're under 3 months, don't listen to people when they say wean yourself off the faja. That faja needs to be your skin. That thing needs to be your best bud, okay? So this is what my stomach looks like. I don't know if I can see, but this is my body. And I'm 7 weeks post-op today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off these shorts and put this faja on. I'm seamless panties and or no-show panties and or. So as you can see, this, you see how this faja opens up? This faja opens up because it doesn't have a zipper on the crouch. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but y'all need to be buying this faja, okay? Opens up like this. So much easier to put on. So now I put it over my butt area. And you just want to make sure that everything is squared away like under here before you start actually trying to like button things up. This one doesn't have a zipper. So what you're going to do is, I know it sounds crazy. What you're going to do is do a little squat. So I'm going to turn to the side and demonstrate. You're going to sit back a little like this. And as you can see, I have my extender right here. But as you can see, once you get this first notch, please, I know it looks crazy. I have underwear on. This flap is going to like get tucked under. But because I have the extender, of course the flap is not going to cover all the way through, which is okay. That's why I got my underwear on. Once you have the first hook, everything just gets better from there. And like I said, like I have an extender on, and I'm just gonna work my way up the faja. I don't have the fan on right now just because of audio purposes, but I still be getting hot putting this on. And just take your time. Like now I'm not faint or anything, so I'm not in a rush. Faja. Ooh. Child, not one of the button things. I don't care. I'm not about to fix it. So this is what the faja looks like. And what you're going to do is you're going to tuck the crotch area. But like I said, you're going to see a little bit of my underwear because of the extender. This is what the back of the faja looks like. And I'm comfortable. Like I'm able to breathe in my faja, sleep in my faja, eat in my faja, dream in my faja, whatever. So yeah, thumbs up this video if you found this helpful. Visit my BBL playlist if you're thinking about getting a BBL or have gotten a BBL. Don't forget to